I'm Rebecca King Ferraro.
And I'm Michael Sean Breeden, and you're listening to Conversations on Dance.
Hi, Mikey.
Good morning, Rebecca. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I've just been up since 6 a.m., as we do.
Sure, as we do. Well, where are you, Mikey?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. And, we've been bouncing around all over the place. So I think maybe my internal clock is a little screwy. I'm in the central time zone, which I didn't realize until I was here for 36 hours.
No, are you serious that you were not on East
No,
Coast?
I just didn't think about it. I just was like,
Sure.
okay, here I am, East Coast. And then I was like, oh, it's a whole hour earlier. Okay. Well,
I
anyway,
think that's just a symptom of our phones changing for us and our watches
Right.
and everything,
Yeah.
as opposed to.
I just didn't realize.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's great. So yeah, up at 6:30, really is 7:30. It's 9 o'clock here. So you're just stay on East Coast
Exactly.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes it easier.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying my time here a lot, immensely. I'm staging You're the Rabbit for Nashville Ballet. I didn't know anything about the company before I came. I had never been to Nashville, but the dancers are super talented. Everyone is so welcoming and just going hard in on this ballet that I love.
Mhm.
I haven't ever gotten to stage it by myself, so that was a whole other experience. Last time I did it with our buddy Zoe Zion
Mhm.
in Hong Kong. And so
That's
she
been a
had
while
done,
too. Was that pre-pandemic? Yeah.
yeah, it's now it's like 4.5 years ago. God.
Wow. Oh my God. Ah! What is happening?
Screaming. um
Well, so what has that been like to revisit? You've revisited other ballets before, but since there's been kind of this break now, and we had, and we'll talk about Vail too, but we had some questions from our wonderful audience members in Vail about to hear more about like what you do as a repetitor and kind of like explain that process a little bit. So maybe we could talk a little bit about what it was like when you staged it in Hong Kong, working with Zoe, some of the work you did then, like the background work, the research, and then how that's different now this time around.
Well, it was easier last time. I mean, of course. It's just different. It's also, it's kind of nice having control. No, no, it's just different because we had a very different setup where Zoe had danced both principal and core. I had danced both principal and core. So we just kind of were able to review our own parts, learn the few parts we had not danced between the two of us. And I only had to look at the men and she had looked at the women. And then we danced it together, which made everything easier. It's
like when you were showing it to the dancers.
Yes. Yeah. And I also had that experience with Patricia Delgado when we did increases together. Just goes fast because you don't. I'm like, it's very the hardest thing in the world is not to do like. Obviously, Justin has a lot of complicated like architectural patterns. That's easier than me trying to tell people at Padada. I'm like, okay, so I'm on point as you, and then you come in with this arm, and I'm trying to be both of you at the same time. It's time consuming, but I also still love it. It's fine. I like to be challenged in this job too. So
yeah. So when we learned Rabbit, we learned it from Janie and Craig. And so we had what would happen would Janie would take all the women to the back of the room or vice versa. And Craig would take the men and then teach the separate sections and work for like 15 minutes or whatever, and then come back together. So I can see how is that what you and Zoe kind of did? And then how are you making that work now? Just
I can't. Or weirdly, maybe it's because it's pre-pandemic. It's like weirdly kind of fuzzy. I mean, I know that we must have done that. We must have separated and brought it back together. Like certainly, I know I did not learn the women's parts. I mean, I had a baseline knowledge of it. I remember going into that process. I had originally like intended to learn everything, and then I just kind of ran out of time and just stuck to my own assignments. Right. But I love that this made me learn. It's just when you know all the pieces of the puzzle, it just makes it. It has increased my love of staging this ballet. So I'm very happy to do it on my own. And it has been done with one stager before. Janie has done it by herself. She did it by herself at Dutch National Ballet. One really wonderful thing about this staging was that I was able to have Janie help me
Janie
while
Taylor.
together while we were in Vail. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's yeah. So I got her special insider knowledge of it. I mean, and I have I've always had friends do that, but it was really fun that we were together in the same place and we were watching, I had the video up my computer and we could stop and pause and talk and I could partner Janie to figure things out. It was just that was a really added Vail bonus for me.
Mm-hmm.
Which maybe we talk a little bit about Vail.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about it. It was so fun.
It was so fun. The only thing that was sad was that you left me halfway through.
I left you for dead. I'm so sorry. We didn't
No, I mean it
know.
was well, yeah, of course. And then Benjamin ended up being angel baby. Could have made it longer, but also, childcare and things of that nature.
Well, it was funny because I was telling Nick, because so my husband came and Ben came as well. And I was telling him that like it was so much easier almost to take care of him there because we could just step outside and there were things to do. Like there was the park with slides and a play, and just like being outside and there's the creek. Like there was just so much to do to entertain him. And even just like sitting in the grass, like we can't just like sit in the grass in Florida. Like there's snakes and things and it's hot as like we've had excessive heat warnings.
Not snakes.
Yeah, it's real. There's
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, and so we don't.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm sure he will when he's older, but like right now, I'm like, oh, I'm not into that. So just like it was just so nice to be outside and take him to the theater. That also was like the most fun. He saw his first Balanchine ballet, which was Tarantella. Not a bad way to start.
Uh-huh. That was
In
an early
rehearsal.
Balanchine ballet for me too. Benjamin and I
Okay.
on the same page.
And then, well, Jules was his first one in utero, which also a great choice. So, we do.
Well, you've been exposing him to classical music, and which I feel like is such an important. Like I always think if I ever had a baby, that
Yeah.
like that's just a very important thing. You want to like create their like appetite for classical music and yeah at a young age. Otherwise, it's hard to make it stick.
Yeah. I meant to tell Caroline Shaw. I only saw her for like a second, so I couldn't really tell her, but I play her music all the time for him too, because it's classical, but also hip and new, or you know what I mean? And I just love her music. And so we listen to that a lot and a lot of Justin ballets. There's actually some music that I want to add from the Vail performances that we saw, like the Justin Peck piece that we saw Ballet X do. What was it called?
Become a Mountain.
Become a Mountain. I loved that ballet. It was so fun. It was originally created on Juilliard students, right? And so Ballet X did it. And it was just, it's cool to see like another work of his that I haven't seen before. And it was just so exciting. And it gave you that feeling of like, oh, I bet they're having so much fun. Like I would love to be out there doing that,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that happens a lot in Vail where you're just like, oh, remember dancing? Like you transport yourself into the dancers' bodies and then you kind of imagine what that felt like. And yeah,
you took class.
We used to be able to do that.
You took class after
I did
left.
take class. There's usually one day a year where we are able to take class where we don't have a talk. Because that coincides with Heather Watts's annual talk that she does. So yeah, I took Margaret Tracy's class. Of course, we're Margaret's biggest fans. Yeah, it was just that was great. I had to get in some sort of shape for Nashville because I like to show the steps as I'm teaching. It's just easier. I mean, how many times have I, especially since this is actually, this is really the most complicated staging I've done. So props to me.
Yes.
Because it's definitely like now I'm thinking I've done ballets by myself, of course, but Increases is half the length, half the cast. Rodeo I did by myself, but then that also, even though it's bigger, it's strangely easier. There's only a couple of complicated sections. It's more straightforward than I
like more people
originally
are doing
thought
like the same thing at the same time, right?
Yeah. There's less like it's just less dense. It's less like like it's, I mean, well, increases is hard because it is really like a perfectly oiled machine and you have to know every component. I feel more like an engineer than a stager for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this is the hardest task that's ever been set forth for me. So feeling
Mm-hmm.
good about that. But there are times where I worked hard to learn the parts, but um, if I don't get up and do it, like even parts I didn't know, like that's how I stored the information. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
if I like try to say the counts, but if I get up and do it to the music, I'm like, then I do it perfectly, then it's all correct. But if you think about it, like you can easily confuse yourself. So the body
Mm-hmm.
is smarter
The
than the
body's
brain.
smarter. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, and you were doing a lot of your like research work ahead of time when you were in Vail. You were working a lot on getting ready for Rabbit and for Heatscape,
Yeah.
which you're also
Yeah, and that's
studying
what so
coming up.
so now I'm just like just this morning, since I got up at 6 for no reason, I was like, okay, well, why don't we try to work on Heatscape? Heatscape is a ballet that Justin made on us in Miami. You and I are both
Mm-hmm.
original cast members.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana University is doing just the first movement, which is kind of a mini ballet unto itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's helpful. I mean, it's also interesting how much of the women's roles I know just from watching it so much. It wasn't as hard to learn as I thought, just because like you absorb things in the same way
Mm-hmm.
that I could just get up and dance Balanchine's Dewdrop tomorrow.
Right.
You know, it's like I would
Totally.
no rehearsal necessary. I know the whole
Mm-mm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just because no one ever taught me the Heatscape women's parts, but I was there for the creative process and I learned it basically with you guys without even realizing.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm trying to like Rabbit is out there. Oh, I'm finishing Rabbit today. So
Oh my gosh.
7 days I
Wow.
did it by myself.
6 hours
Janie
a
and
day, right?
Craig. Yeah, I looked because I was trying to copy the Miami City Ballet schedules because of course I still have those and I was like trying to see what made sense schedule wise. And they finished, I think, on day 6 or 7, and they had each other. So props
That's
to me.
great, Mikey. And so now how much time
No,
do you
but
have to kind of like refine it and work on it?
I have the rest of this week and then 4 days next week.
So it's today's
So it's a
Tuesday.
good
So you have
chunk
a
of time.
lot. Yeah. That's really
Hmm.
amazing. So do you feel like you're getting like to me, I would always think that the scheduling process and like working within the time frame you have allotted would be one of the biggest challenges. So do you feel like you're kind of getting more efficient? You're starting to get more comfortable within making these schedules and sticking with them.
Yeah, I mean, we always make it work. You realize that there are things that you need more time for and less time for, and but I stick to my guns, my rule that we don't leave early if there are people present. I mean, I haven't finished. I finished 5 minutes early one day, and it was 5:55. I don't think anyone cared, but I for some reason I had scheduled like not too much, but more of the You're the Ox principal woman that was premiered by Ashley Bowder, danced by Tyler Peck. So I had just had more time, and they had 6 people. We had 6 people in the room learning it, so we just did all 6 of them. You
So
know,
fun.
it was so fun, and everyone looked great, and everyone. I just love being able to be a part of someone's day that they love. Like we think back, like it's just very easy to remember those moments where you finish your 1 or 1:30 rehearsal and you go up to the lunchroom and you're like, that was so fun. Or you go
Mhm.
home and you're just so happy and fulfilled and you remember why you do that. So being able to be a part of that experience for someone else is just the best feeling. And when it's 6 people, it's even better,
Totally.
you know?
And how are you
So
feeling, Mikey, while you're there?
I'm having the best time. I haven't really seen a lot of Nashville, but that's okay. I have my sister's coming this week, and then my
Oh,
roommate is coming a couple of days after. So I'm
fun.
waiting to explore with them. But I'm having this. I was telling you about it. Like we know this. We all know this experience as dancers, that is really hard to emulate because I just can't get. I don't know. Exercise other exercise doesn't make me feel like this. It doesn't make me this tired. It
Mm-mm.
and like that, I like the first and second day. Well, the first day I felt like I couldn't come down. Like I was like at home buzzing and I was
Right.
like, oh my God, how am I gonna go to sleep? Because you just get that like kind of adrenaline rush. And
You're
then the
just
second day I
on.
was so tired that I just came home like, but I had been fine in rehearsal. It wasn't like I was dying in the 5 o'clock hour. But then the
Mm-hmm.
second you get on the couch and you can't move, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also secretly the best feeling because you
Mm-hmm.
gave everything. Very
Mm-hmm.
hard to give everything another in other
Any other
ways.
way. I know. I remember
Yeah.
times, right, where you'd come home and you'd like throw ice on and you'd sit on the sofa and turn on TV. And then it would be like 9 o'clock and you'd be like, oh, I haven't gotten up to eat or do
Right.
anything because I
Yeah.
just
It's
completely
hard.
zoned out for 3 hours, you know? And you don't
Yeah.
get that
Yeah,
anymore.
but
Like I
it's a good
try to, but I'm like,
feeling.
why do I deserve to sit down for 3 hours?
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's true. It's different. Well, you deserve to sit down for 3 hours because you're raising an infant.
But I don't feel like I'm like, oh, I worked. See, that's the thing. It's so funny. I'm like, I'm exhausted, but I didn't like do a sit up today or work on any muscle groups. Whatever.
That's okay. You're helping a different being work on his.
That's true. He certainly is
Mhm.
getting that workout
But
in
you're
front of me.
also you're not just raising an infant. You are doing other entrepreneurial things.
I am.
What are
It's
you
true.
doing right now, girl?
Um, well, I've been since Ben was born, I've been kind of doing some different stuff for work, which has been really great. I've been focusing more instead of doing like social media marketing, which I had been doing. I'm focusing more on website design, SEO, search engine optimization for people, and doing some marketing consulting, which has been really fun. I've been working with some
Mhm.
schools, kind of helping them get everything up and running online. And it's been really fun. And I feel like they keep telling me about like the difference that they feel in their business. And I just, that kind of gives you the same feeling in a way, especially when it's
Yeah.
something ballet related or dance related, where I'm like, oh, I'm like helping this business with what they're doing. So I have a little bit of downtime right now. I feel like, the summer a little bit, but I'm looking forward to hopefully, getting some new things and doing some more marketing consulting has been really, really fun for me. I like telling people like, here's what you should do, go off and do it. Um,
Mhm. Wait, can
and
you talk to me about search engine optimization like I'm stupid? I am stupid.
I can tell you what we're
Like,
doing
is
for our website, and which is the same
oh,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Tell
Actually, and that
me.
ties.
It's so. I just don't really get it.
It's so
Like,
important.
why? But like, why is it the way it is, and how do you fix? How do you optimize it? What are we doing?
What are we doing? So it's basically the internet is very saturated with so much content, as we all know, that you want to work with Google or search engines like Google to tell Google who you are. Um, Explain to them how your website's set up by giving them a site map. So that, lets Google it's called crawling your website so they can find the content on there. And then a lot of the important part of that is setting up keywords and using keywords in an organic way that Google then knows who you are and what you do.
Right.
So for COD, a lot of that is just like trying in one sentence or two to say, here's who we are, here's our names, because people search our names. They search your name a lot, by the way. So work you.
Wow.
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 So then what you want to do is when someone is searching Michael Breeden, first things that normally come up would be like Instagram, Facebook, those sorts of things, because they have a lot of hits to their website. And so you want to get
Right.
more hits to your website so that you move up in the search engine.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
more hits to the website, you can obtain that through social media, through email marketing. There's
Right.
a whole host of ways. So you just want to tell Google that you are creating content that people are interested in and that they are searching and that they want to see your website. And so that's a lot of stuff that we've been doing for COD. And this actually brings up something I wanted to mention is we are now doing some transcripts on our website. We don't do every single episode because it is not free, unfortunately, to do, but we're using AI to do that. And that's one thing that is a part of our search engine optimization efforts, is because there'll be a lot of those keywords within the transcript and things that we talk about. So if
Right.
anyone listening would be interested in kind of checking out those things as well, they're on our website, conversationsondancepod.com. And then all of our episodes are listed there, or our more recent ones are listed there. And then there are transcripts that go along with it. So doing a lot of that work is one of the things. It's a little hard to explain to people or to clients why it's important, because you can't necessarily see the work that's being done. A lot of it's like behind the
Right.
scenes. A lot of
Behind
it
the
is like,
scenes.
right. And so it's not like, oh, suddenly my website looks different. It's going to look almost the same, but there's things happening behind the scenes. But it's really exciting when people do put that trust in you and then you see the results changing and you see it getting better. So that's been really fun. I've been working with a few clients on that and I just love watching analytics and seeing the numbers go up, and watching our numbers go up too has been really fun.
Can you tell us other websites you've worked on, or is that like a attorney client privilege?
No, I actually have them listed on my website, rebeccaferraro.com. But one that I'm sure most of our listeners actually have probably visited other than ours is Alistair McCauley's website. I set his up
Of
for him.
course.
Yeah. And so his website, he's constantly putting out really great new articles and interesting writings. So it's really fun because when I set it up, I was kind of like, I wonder if he'll use this that much. And he is using it like crazy. So it's really, right. I'm really glad that we worked together on that. So that's one specifically. But I have, a lot of dance related clients, but then I do other things too. Like I have a local gym that I work with, and their business, I've worked with them for years now, even through the pandemic, and they've like quadrupled their business since I've been working with them, which is really, and even through the pandemic in Florida, but it's still like, it's a really great thing. And it's really fun to work with them. And I do a lot of these sorts of things with them, and a lot of work with Google, because Google has a lot of resources. So if anyone out there is interested in these services, give me a call. Let me know.
I need to join a gym. Should I join your local gym?
You can. They have all new equipment, open 24/7. It's time. Come on down.
Open 24/7?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
You have a key fob where you can get in after hours. Yeah.
Oh, I am in.
I mean, right? I mean, that is really convenient if you have, different work hours. They have people that come in at like 2 or 3 in the morning because
I was going to, yeah. I mean, I sometimes do. Yeah. We can be now as people nearing our 40s.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I just threw that. I just really rounded up there. But I'm up at erratic hours. Work. Yeah. It's like if I'm up at 5 for no good reason, I may as well go to the gym. But New York gyms are not open 24/7. Maybe if you live in a bougie building,
I'm sure it's like $5 million. To me, I'm like, how do you security wise? But cameras and whatever does enough, I suppose. So, but
I guess, yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, the past 2 gyms I've been at, clearly someone has stolen some of the free weights. So
I think they have that happen too. And it's just like, come on, people.
Get your own weights.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the Manor Vail, they were missing some. And this place I'm staying at in Nashville, also missing, goes from 20 to 35. How am I gonna grow if I need the in-betweens? Okay. Well,
you just got to step up. That's just it's gonna force you to get to
I can't just jump
weight.
From 20 to. I mean, for some things it's fine, but
you can use it like a kettlebell and just use the, and like hold the top of it and do like some kettlebell work on the heavier one. I'd
be doing some things like that, but I also, I need to join a gym with other people so someone can tell me my form is garbage.
All right. So next for you, you're still going to be in Nashville for a little while, and then you're going to IU.
And I go to Indiana.
And then
I come home, but then I go right back to Nashville for their shows. And then I come home again, and I go right back to Indiana for their shows. And then, there's another thing. I don't know if it's official, so I won't talk about it, but I get to hopefully do a staging that is more local so I can stay at home. We love that.
We love to see that.
And then the rest of the year, there are things, irons in the fire, but I don't know that I can talk about them. They're not officially yet. We'll talk about them another time.
Talk about them, yeah. And for COD, we have so much fun stuff coming up. We've been working on our calendar for the whole year. I feel like this is the first year really where we're like, let's look at the whole season of dance and like lay out what we're doing. And it's been really fun to do that. So we have a lot coming up for us. And, you know, as always, if there's great events going on, great performances, projects that we need to know about, tell us about it so we can talk about it on the pod.
Yeah. Email us and, you know, we'll do our best to get back at you. We are both busy humans. So please give us grace in getting back. You know, but you know, Alistair wrote us with like 500 suggestions the other day, and we're gonna do 500.
Do almost all of them, yeah. And those are coming out. Some of them are gonna start coming out soon, which is exciting. Those are good. We were doing some scheduling. It's kind of hard. Like when Vail is happening, we're so focused on that because it's a lot. So we had like a little downtime there for a second, but now we're gonna pick back up. So there are 10 episodes from Vail. We hope that everyone will take a listen. There were 5 with you and me, 4 with just Michael, and then 1 with our friend Kate Penner that we hope she guesses for us.
It was the first Conversations on Dance in which neither of us appeared, and there was only one person that it could have been.
Only one
Miss Kate Penner.
She did so great. She was wonderful, as we knew she would be. And we're in talks with Kate about some other ways to get her on the pod too, some things to chat about, you know, because I'm excited. I think we should try to work on that soon, depending on your schedule. But so anyway, since Michael's busy right now, we're hoping to kind of like keep a steady flow of content. We'll do our best. And we just hope everyone stays tuned. We hope that you all subscribe to COD wherever you get your podcasts, so that you don't miss an episode. And you can also rate and review us if you'd like, wherever you listen. That really helps us. And
you know, go to Rebecca's website too while you're at it.
Yeah, why not? Thanks, Mikey.
Check in on what she does. Maybe you need to hire her for SEO purposes. Do you like that? I know the acronym now, SEO.
Yay.
Okay.
And maybe you need a Justin Peck ballet and you need to hire Michael to come and do an exceptional job.
Sure.
Why not? All right, Mikey, I know you gotta go.
I gotta go get in a 5th.
Okay, go get in that 5th.
Raise a baby. I'll go get in a 5th, you know.
Okay. We'll touch base.
All right.
Bye, Mikey.
Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Conversations on Dance is part of the ACAST Creator Network. For more information, visit conversationsondancepod.com.